Good morning everybody and welcome back to an episode of the Custom Set Showcase Remastered, where today we're focusing on the smaller things that you guys have suggested that I change in my LEGO Legend of Zelda custom sets. We're going to be looking at 3 items in particular today. We're looking at an item from Z004, Z006 and 0027, and before we take a look at what they're going to be, it's clear that they are all character based or minifigure based. So today we are going to be upgrading the Great Fairy, Bombling and Moblin, and some of these you may never have heard of. If you want to learn more about the custom sets they are in, I'd recommend checking out the videos. I should have linked them at the top. However, without any further ado, let's fix these somewhat questionable minifigures. So starting off with the Great Fairy, she appeared in Z0004, the Great Sea Treasure Hunt for ages 8 and up with 899 pieces, contained about 4 minifigures, although that was debatable, and retailed for £1 of 50 to 70. She is not actually visible on the box, which is fun because she is trapped inside the Big Octo, a big part of this set, and your job was to shoot the eyes and free her, which was a complicated mechanism. However, when doing so, you were greeted with this, a not particularly well drawn figure that is somewhat representative of the Great Fairy. We'll compare it in a minute. But around that time, or whenever I was ranking the minifigures or going back through, we had a comment from Hylian Bricks who wrote, "For the worst one, I would actually consider using Garmadon's torso. Although the arms are slightly separate, it's probably the best purest piece for this character." And that got me thinking. The Great Fairy has 4 arms, and my mind had originally gone to the Rio Duran arm piece from Star Wars to create this arm look that you see in front of you. However, the Garmadon piece also allows for 4 arms on a minifigure, so I wonder how it would turn out if we turned the Great Fairy into that. And here is the evolution, and one, it helps that I think I've gotten substantially better at drawing, maybe, in the last almost 3 years of doing this. So that's crazy looking. This is why we do customs. It's such a big upgrade. So as I mentioned, on the bottom of your screen you can see that we went from using the Rio Duran arms to the Garmadon piece, and it spreads out those arms not only more accurately, but also gives the Fairy Queen that little bit extra height, which to be honest really works for this character. The printing is mostly the same, with just the simple blue top, dark blue arms, and the same headpiece which I designed for her and Fi. And then the ghost piece as well, used at the bottom, now with added gradient texturing because I finally worked out how that button works. And here you can see it compared to some source material. I still think that if LEGO was going to give it an ultimate mold budget, they could potentially do something with the hair, or however, making a hard plastic or rubber piece that long and that thin would be very dangerous and potentially lead to lots of breakages. So I think we settle with this one for now, and then using the same old ghost piece at the bottom. I really like the addition of the twinkles, as I know while they're not on this source material, the modelling game does twinkle, and a lot of the concept art, and I believe even the figurine gallery models do show this. Overall, a complete upgrade. I mean, it's really insane. Firstly, here she is with all of the other minifigures from her set. Now, obviously, a lot of these figures are also outdated in their drawing styles. However, definitely fits in a lot better and doesn't bring it down. I would no longer rate this as my worst figure like I did back in goodness knows how long ago I ranked them all. But I definitely ranked her as the worst, no longer. Here she is next to the other one of her kind, being the Fairy Queen, her senior, who's playing with a doll of her, but is smaller. I wouldn't question the sizing. Of course, the Fairy Queen only has 2 arms and is in a completely different colour scheme. However, there are definitely similarities between their face print and simplistic detailing, and I do think they look a lot better together than they did before. Well, by quite a long way, really. And here she is as well inside of the Big Octo, as if you just defeated it and revealed her in a sparkly little cage. And yeah, no, again, just suits this location so much better. Big Octo, the Great Sea Treasure Hunt is one of my favourite sets of all time. It's stood the test of time and worked out really well. It's unfortunate to me that the figure was so bad, and this one definitely fits in a lot better. So you guys will have to let me know what you guys think about this down below, because I really love this upgrade. Thank you, Hylian Bricks, for the amazing suggestion. Next up though, we have the Bombling Z004 from Castletown People Pack for ages 10 and up, with 307 pieces, 12 minifigures, retailing for 35 Great British pounds. This was sort of like a People Pack, but in the style of Zelda, using lots of civilians and lots of market stalls. And in one of the stores we had one of those traditional item shops where the 3 types of bomb from Twilight Princess were shown. We had the water bomb, which was not represented particularly well with a helmet. We had the iron shrouded bomb, which I definitely regret doing in that style. And then most awkwardly, of course, we had the Bombling, which was using the Nexo Knight spider piece with a ball inside it to make it sort of look like a spider, and given it was all purist, I did pretty well for the time. However, more recently a new piece has shown up which makes this a much easier conversion, and I definitely think looks an awful lot better. In the new Spider-Man 4+ set, there is a piece from the Spidey and Amazing Friends line, which is a spider, and it's small, and I think it looks pretty close. Did you see it? It is the little spider drone, and we're going to be turning this into a Bombling now. And here is the upgrade. No viewer suggestion for this one because this one was all on me. Every month that new sets release, I go through all the new parts and see how applicable they can be to mocks, or whether I'm looking for recolors for certain things. And it just so happens that I found this piece and I was like, that would be perfect to change the Bombling, and without further ado, I got to work on drawing it. Now we'll compare it to the source material in a minute to see what on earth's going on with that weird moustache looking thing, but I definitely think the upgrade is clear while still maintaining a lot of that original shape. Definitely looks like a Twilight Princess enemy to me. I don't know why, but also the bombs. So here it is next to a real Bombling, and I know this is the one from the Forest Temple, meaning that their legs are super long, but bear in mind that Bombling legs can be shorter. You can see its big confused looking eyes and the red markings, and then the black things are actually representing the pincers. Of course, printing detail is very limited on a piece this side. As we saw with the spider drone, it was basically just the eyes. So I kept it very, very simple, and I just recolored it into olive green to match the Bombling. Bearing in mind that the Bomblings you buy also come like this, I just thought that the olive green one was much more interesting for the colour and could actually work as the enemy despite the shorter legs. And here is the Bombling up on its shelf on Mallow's store, and Link has come along to buy some of this new and, well, rare delicacy. A bit of a strange piece that LEGO will never make or use in this theme. However, I still thought it was worth upgrading a set considering I was looking for one. So again, let me know what you think of the new Bombling and my use of that piece. I was very excited to be able to find a non-specialised use for it. And then finally for today we have Z00207 containing our Moblin Castle Wall Defence for ages 8 and up, with 622 pieces, £50 and 5 minifigures. Now the Moblin was particularly divisive. I've had many suggestions over its time saying that I need to extend its neck or that it needs to be smaller. Now originally I was going for this at the same way they did with the 2014 Groot. He's a larger than minifigure character that can throw bokoblins, which are roughly the same size as Link, meaning he's got to be bigger. Therefore brick built seemed like the obvious solution. However, I know later down the line I want to do Stal skulls for the Moblin, meaning that I wanted his headpiece to be compatible with a minifigure, and therefore it is just a mask that slots over at the top of a minifigure head, meaning that I didn't do a brick-built body in the traditional sense. I used one of these big cover-up pieces, like with the large characters in Nexo Knights, and then built a body around that, and you guys said he was too big. And Brick Wizard Studios said, wow, the wall and tower is so cool, but I think the Moblin was a little too big. And I agree, he is oversized. I was experimenting with concepts, seeing what LEGO might do when they come around to making a Moblin. Maybe it'll be something similar to this, or maybe it'll be similar to what we're going to do now. I've promised I will try more options with the Moblin, and you will see that. However, for today, I want to try and turn him into a minifigure. So, we started off with 2014 Groot and we ended up with 2021 Groot, and that is the new Moblin design. Now, I managed to squeeze in a lot more detail. It's sort of hard to see, but you can see you've got the subtle chest definition. You've got his new loincloth using some just random markings. He's got dual molded legs with some printing and dual molded arms with his printing, and the head is the exact same, which means I can now make Stal Moblins and Stal Skulls still, just the same as before. I definitely think it was a worthy experiment. He definitely looks good on his own, but I think it's really difficult when I put him next to the others. You'll see in a minute, but here he is next to the source material. I can definitely see what you guys mean about the neck sticking out. I need to have a look and see if I can find a brick built option that doesn't use the buff body and then gets his neck to stick out in front of his head like so. I think it's definitely possible. It's just a matter of finding the way it works. Maybe something similar to the Demon Bull King from Monkey Kid. That might be something that works for us. Anyway, here they both are next to their source material. Both fairly accurate, as both use the same hair piece. Obviously, the minifigure one has the more details. I don't know why on my Brickbuilt Moblin I didn't colour his arms in white or off-white rather than dark red. But, you know, mistakes were made. It was the old custom sets. And here is our minifigure Moblin next to these friends from the Breath of the Wild Monster Squad, meaning the Lizalfos and the Red Bokoblin as well, all in their basic varieties, red, green and red here. He does look good next to them. I definitely think they'd fit. Like, I would not be opposed if LEGO did just do a Moblin minifigure. I just think that the scale difference is big enough to where there should be something different. Maybe I haven't found the middle ground yet. Maybe it just needs to be a slightly bigger figure. I'll do some research. Maybe I can come up with something. Maybe it's supposed to be like Hagrid and therefore Daruk, where it's a slightly enlarged minifigure body. Anyway, that's for me to do some research on and come back to you in a future video. Let me know what you think of the minifigure Moblin. Is he better than the original design, or is he about the same? Yeah, it's all up to you guys, really. And thank you so much for watching. 3 minifigures fixed. The Fairy Queen's got to be my favourite. Just went from my absolute worst figure to not a favourite, but solid middle upper of the pack, and it was worth doing it. And you know what? I think it reinvigorated me on custom sets as a whole. Since drawing her, I have designed another 3 Wave 4 sets. And I cannot wait to keep going and finish Wave 4 for you guys. So thank you very much for your patience and sticking around. Let me know what you thought of all 3 of these down below in the comments, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.